While his fall is well documented, who was OJ Simpson, the NFL football player? Was he really that good? If so, how good was he really? Born Orenthal James Simpson on July 9, 1947, in San Francisco, California, the Juice emerged from humble beginnings to become one of America's most polarizing figures. Growing up in the housing projects of Potrero Hill, Simpson faced early hardships that might have derailed most. As a child, he developed rickets, forcing him to wear leg braces until the age of 5, giving him his distinctive bow-leg stance. Statistics show that only 1 in 400 American children were diagnosed with rickets during this era, marking Simpson as an unlikely candidate for athletic greatness from the start. The streets of San Francisco proved treacherous for young OJ. By his early teens, he had joined a street gang called the Persian Warriors and found himself incarcerated at the San Francisco Youth Guidance Center. His future wife Marguerite later described him as really an awful person then. Police records show he was arrested 3 times before his life changed direction. In neighborhoods like Potrero Hill, an estimated 35% of young men had encounters with law enforcement, placing Simpson squarely within a high-risk demographic that rarely escaped to prosperity. Everything changed when Simpson met baseball legend Willie Mays, who encouraged the troubled youth to avoid further trouble. This pivotal encounter, one of countless moments of mentorship Mays provided to approximately 500 young men throughout his career, redirected Simpson's energy toward athletics at the Potrero Hill Recreation Center. Despite being an all-city football player at Galileo High School, Simpson's mediocre academic record limited his college opportunities. Like nearly 40% of academically struggling athletes of his era, he enrolled at City College of San Francisco in 1965. At City College, Simpson's exceptional abilities began to emerge. Playing both as a running back and defensive back, he earned junior college All-American honors and led his team to victory in the Prune Bowl against Long Beach City College. His performance caught the attention of major universities, with Simpson ultimately choosing USC over the University of Utah. During his 2 seasons at City College, he amassed over 1,000 rushing yards and 15 touchdowns, ranking him among the top 5% of junior college running backs nationwide. Simpson's career at USC catapulted him to national prominence. In 1967, he led the nation in rushing with 1,543 yards and 13 touchdowns. The following year, he improved to 1,880 yards on 383 carries, averaging an impressive 4.9 yards per carry. His combined collegiate statistics were staggering: 674 carries for 3,423 yards and 36 touchdowns, plus 36 receptions for 320 yards. Simpson averaged 5.1 yards per carry across his college career, outperforming 95% of running backs in NCAA Division I football. His dominance earned him the 1968 Heisman Trophy by a record-setting margin of 1,750 points over runner-up Leroy Keys. While excelling in football, Simpson also demonstrated extraordinary skill in track and field. In 1967, he ran the 3rd leg of a sprint relay quartet that broke the world record in the 4x100 10-yard relay at the NCAA Championships with a time of 38.6 seconds. He recorded a 100-yard dash time of 9.53 seconds, placing him among the top 20 sprinters globally. Unlike some activist athletes of his era, Simpson avoided controversy by choosing not to participate in the 1968 Olympics boycott, prioritizing his personal advancement over political statements. The Buffalo Bills selected Simpson as the first overall pick in the 1969 NFL-AFL draft, making him an instant star. Never one to underestimate his worth, Simpson demanded the largest contract in professional sports history: $650,000 over 5 years, equivalent to $4.1 million in 2023. This represented approximately 15 times the average NFL salary of the era and nearly 3 times what most first-round picks received. When the Bills balked, Simpson threatened to abandon football for an acting career until team owner Ralph Wilson relented. Simpson's first 3 NFL seasons proved disappointing, as he averaged only 622 yards per season, less than half the production expected from a first overall pick. Under coach John Rauch, who refused to build the offense around one player, Simpson was relegated to blocking and receiving duties. Of the 484 carries Simpson had during this period, Nearly 40% resulted in gains of 2 yards or less, an unusually high rate for an elite running back. His yards per carry hovered around 4.0, respectable, but far below his potential. Everything changed in 1972 when Lou Saban became head coach and redesigned the Bills' offense around Simpson. That season, he rushed for 1,251 yards, leading the league for the first of 4 times in his career. This 101% increase in production compared to his previous season average represented one of the greatest year-over-year improvements in NFL history. Under Saban's system, Simpson's carries increased by approximately 60%, and his big play potential nearly doubled. The 1973 season established Simpson as a football legend when he became the first player to break the 2,000-yard rushing mark, finishing with 2,003 yards and 12 touchdowns. Even more remarkable, he achieved this milestone in just 14 games, averaging an NFL record 143.1 yards per game. By comparison, modern running backs play 17-game seasons, yet no one has matched Simpson's per-game output. His 6.0 yards per carry that season ranked in the top 1% of all running back seasons in NFL history. Simpson won the NFL MVP award and Burt Bell Award for his extraordinary performance. Between 1972 and 1976, Simpson dominated football like few before him. He averaged 1,540 rushing yards per season, gained 5.1 yards per carry, and won the NFL rushing title 4 times. During this 5-year stretch, he accounted for approximately 42% of Buffalo's total offensive yards and about 38% of their offensive touchdowns. His 1,817 rushing yards in 1975 came with 16 touchdowns, while adding 426 receiving yards and 7 receiving touchdowns. These numbers represented nearly 50% of the Bills' total scoring that season. Simpson's career peaked during a 1976 Thanksgiving game against the Detroit Lions. Despite his team losing 27-14, Simpson rushed for a then-record 273 yards on 29 attempts, averaging an astonishing 9.4 yards per carry. This single game represented approximately 18% of his season, total of 1,503 yards. Though the Bills struggled to a 2-12 record that year, Simpson's individual brilliance remained undimmed, as he accounted for nearly 60% of the team's total offensive yards. Injuries limited Simpson to just 7 games in 1977, ending his Buffalo career. In March 1978, the Bills traded him to his hometown San Francisco 49ers for 5 draft picks, an unprecedented haul representing approximately 25% of the 49ers' total draft capital for those years. Simpson played his final 2 NFL seasons in San Francisco, rushing for 1,053 yards and 4 touchdowns before retiring in 1979. His final game was a 31-21 loss to the Atlanta Falcons on December 16, 1979, with his final play appropriately being a 10-yard run for a first down. Simpson's career statistics place him among football's elite: 11,236 rushing yards, 61 rushing touchdowns, 203 receptions for 2,142 yards, and 14 receiving touchdowns. He averaged 4.7 yards per carry over his career, nearly 20% higher than the NFL average during that era. He was named NFL Player of the Year in 1973 and played in 6 Pro Bowls. Most impressively, he remains the only player in NFL history to rush for over 2,000 yards in a 14-game season, and the only player to rush for over 200 yards in 6 different games. As Simpson's football career flourished, he simultaneously built a promising entertainment career. Unlike many athletes who struggle with the transition to acting, Simpson began appearing on television while still at USC, including an uncredited role in Dragnet. During contract negotiations with the Bills, he appeared in the first episode of Medical Center. Rather than accepting stereotypical roles often offered to black athletes, Simpson strategically chose supporting parts that allowed him to study accomplished actors like Lee Marvin and Richard Burton. In 1975, Simpson became the first black athlete hired for a major corporate national advertising campaign when Hertz Rental Car featured him in their iconic Go OJ Go commercials. The campaign transformed both Simpson and Hertz. The company's annual profit increased by 50% to $42.2 million within the first year. while brand awareness jumped by over 40%. Simpson's recognition rate among Americans soared from 30% to 90%, making him one of the most recognizable athletes in the country. For comparison, contemporary surveys showed only about 15% of NFL players achieved greater than 50% public recognition. Following his NFL retirement, Simpson's acting career accelerated with roles in popular films like The Towering Inferno, 1974, The Cassandra Crossing, 1977, and The Naked Gun Trilogy, 1888 to 1994. He appeared in approximately 20 feature films and dozens of television episodes, generating an estimated $5 to $7 million in acting income. By 1992, Simpson had amassed $10 million in assets and more than $1 million in annual income, including $550,000 from Hertz alone. Considering the average NFL pension was approximately $30,000 annually, Simpson had successfully built a fortune 33 times greater than most of his contemporaries. OJ Simpson's legacy remains deeply complicated, a remarkable athlete whose achievements were overshadowed by controversy and tragedy. From the housing projects of San Francisco to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, from Hollywood stardom to prison, his journey embodied extraordinary triumph and catastrophic downfall. Across 11 NFL seasons, Simpson amassed enough yards to run the equivalent of nearly 6.4 miles, enough touchdowns to score in every game for almost 6 full seasons, and enough fame to become one of the most recognized and ultimately infamous figures in American history.